Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So to start off, I am going in with the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This just really makes your skin feel soft. I definitely went in with a little bit too much product, but that's okay. I ended up going in with my Morphe Flawless Beauty Sponge just to kind of press that product into my skin and get rid of any extra product that didn't need to be there. Then, because I'm extra and I'm sure y'all can tell I love mists, I went in with the NYX First Base Primer Spray. This thing is like 10 bucks, it's super affordable. And again, I went in with my Morphe sponge just to really press that product into my skin. I went ahead and I did my brows off of camera like I usually do, and then I'm just going in with my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Medium to prime my eyelids. And to set the eyelids, I'm going to take that highlight shade from the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in the shade Dolce de Leche. And I'm just taking this fluffy brush and I'm only setting from crease to brow bone because I do want to do a half cut crease today. So I don't want any powder to be on the lid when I try to carve out my crease. So the palette that we're going to be using today is the Morphe 35O palette, and I'm just going to take this light orangey shade and use my Morphe M504 brush to place that into the crease. I don't actually own an eyeshadow palette that you can buy at like Target or Walmart or Ulta, any places like that. So that's why I just decided to go with my Morphe palette, because some people think $22 is expensive, but when you sit down and realize that you're getting 35 pans of eyeshadow for $22, each individual eyeshadow is less than $1. How can that not be affordable? The next shadow we're going in with is that shadow right smack in the middle of the palette. This is just like a nice brown shade with like a burgundy-ish undertone. I'm taking that on my Morphe E28 blending brush and just blending that through my crease, but I'm not taking this as high as that first transition shade we placed down. And then, of course, to make sure that we get the best possible blend we can, I am going to go back in with that M504 brush without any additional product to blend those two shadows together. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and deepen up the outer corner. We're just going to take this brown shade here, and we're going to take this on my Morphe E18 brush and really pack this on the outer corner. So of course, after we're done packing that shade on with that E18 brush, we're going to go back in with my E28 brush to actually blend the product out. And then of course, back in with the M504 to just really make sure everything blends out seamlessly. Alright, so now we're going to go in and cut the crease. I just put a bit of that Maybelline Fit Me Concealer on the back of my hand and use this e.l.f. concealer brush just to cut my crease. I only wanted to do a half cut crease, so I'm just basically doing that. I'm not going too in depth because I do have an entire video dedicated to cut creases, so I'll make sure to link that below for you guys. So now I want to make sure that we set the eyelids before we put on any eyeshadow. So I did take the NYX Pressed Translucent HD powder to kind of just set that area, and I'm using a big old fluffy brush because honestly it doesn't really matter. So to add shimmer to the lid, we're gonna go in with this like pinky white shimmery shade, and I'm using one of the Wet n Wild brushes from, you know, their little like $1 to $2 line. I think this is like the concealer brush, and none of them have names, so if I can find it I'll make sure to link it down below. But I'm just using this brush because it's really small and precise, so I can actually get up to that line where I cut my crease to make sure that I don't go outside of it and defeat the entire purpose of cutting my crease. So I'm just going to go back in with that outer corner shade just to blend the half cut crease and that darkness together, and I'm just using that E18 brush, and then of course going back in with the E28 to blend everything out. Alright, so now that the eyes are done, we're going to move on to the face. I didn't feel like wearing foundation today, so I just slapped on a whole bunch of concealer. I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, again in the shade medium, and I'm carving out my brows with this product. Then I am just blending that concealer upward towards my forehead or onto my forehead from where I carved it, just so I can add a little bit of extra coverage. I am going to add some more concealer right in the center of my forehead like I usually would, because this shade is meant to highlight my skin, so I am going to make sure to put this concealer in all the regular places that I would highlight, like my forehead, my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And then of course I am going to put some of that concealer underneath. Oh my god, one of my dogs farted and it smells so bad. Oh, gross. Disgusting. Jesus. Oh my god, that's just... Okay, resume. We're no longer dying. Sorry about that. So I am putting that concealer underneath my eyes just to hide any of my dark circles and to highlight underneath my eyes. Then of course I gotta go in with my Coty Airspun translucent powder. This is the only loose powder that I own. It's affordable. Yes, it smells like old lady, but it is so good. I'm just going through concealing the rest of my face just because, again, I'm not wearing foundation, so I am putting this concealer in some places that I wouldn't usually put it. I usually don't put concealer in my laugh lines or that much on my chin, but I do have some darkness within my actual laugh lines and then some acne scars, so I wanted to make sure I just covered that up. And then of course I'm going back in with my Coty Airspun powder to set all of the places that I put that concealer. That way we don't crease and it lasts all day. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of cream contouring or bronzing because this is super warm. I'm using the Wet n Wild contouring stick in the shade Call Me Maple. This is just like a super warm toned shade, and I'm basically putting a crap ton on. As you can see, I put a little bit more than I usually do or should, but I just wanted a really good base for my bronzer and blush to sit on top of, and to kind of add a little bit of color back into my face because everything was looking extra white from that concealer. So I'm just going in with my Real Techniques stippling brush to blend all of that out. I'm not fully blending the product out with this brush just because I never do that, and two, it literally wouldn't do the job because I put way too much. So I know it looks super crazy. Believe me, it's gonna look fine by the end. I just went back in with that Morphe beauty sponge to blend all of that out and take away all that unnecessary product. This is the first time I tried this product. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Transforming Powder in the shade Rich Tan. I was kind of nervous that this wasn't going to match me, but I mean, it was a pretty decent color match. I'm just taking my Real Techniques powder brush and setting all of the areas that we put that cream bronzer. Alright, so now we're going to take that yellow shade from the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Caramel Toffee and my Morphe M438 brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit underneath my eyes to highlight that area, and I'm also going over my nose, my chin, and my cupid's bow, all of the places that I put my concealer. And then I did have to switch over to the Morphe M401 brush for my forehead because your homegirl got some big forehead and that M438 was a little bit too small. Using that same contouring palette and my Morphe R10 brush, I'm just going to put a little bit of bronzer on my cheeks and my forehead, basically where I put that cream bronzer before, just to kind of add a little bit more definition and color to the face. Alright, so time for blush. I went into this e.l.f. blush palette. This one is the dark one, and I'm just taking that blush shade on my Real Techniques multitask brush and just blushing up the cheeks. Then for highlight, we're going into the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Radiant Lights and my Morphe M501 brush. This highlighter is so pigmented. It's literally $6, but it comes off as a pretty high-end highlight. I really enjoy this product and I think y'all should get it. So with no additional product, I just went back into that blush brush to blend everything out. And now we're going to move on to the lower lash line. So I'm taking my Morphe E36 and that dark brown shade and just smoking the lower lash line. I'm not taking it all the way to the inner corner. I'm leaving that inner third blank of color just because I didn't want it to be too dark and smoky within that inner corner. And then we're going to take that very first transition shade that we use in my Morphe M433 and just really smoke out that bottom lash line. I didn't want just one shadow underneath there because then I felt like it would just be a little bit too dark. So I used that first transition shade just to kind of lighten everything up and blend everything out. Alright, so now for the fun part. I'm going in with this glitter eyeliner from bhCosmetics. This is in the shade Rapture, and I'm basically going to put this right where I cut my crease. I wanted to do a thin line of glitter, but you know, I also sat down. I was like, let's do natural glam. I wanted to add another line of glitter on my eyes, so I went in with my Jessie's Girl liquid eyeliner to create a wing. And then I'm going to go back in with that bhCosmetics glitter liner to create a line of glitter right underneath that wing. I'm taking this Colourpop Swerve pencil liner and lining my upper waterline. I didn't take my wing all the way to the inner corner, so I'm also not going to take this pencil liner all the way to the inner corner. I really wanted that inner corner of my eye to be bright and not brought down by the smokiness and darkness of this look. So for mascara, I went in with the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara, and then I did apply some lashes off of camera. I just used the Salon Perfect 615s. They're like the Glam lashes. They're just super fluttery and long and intense, and I love them. So I'm going to take that same Vivid Baked highlighter from Makeup Revolution to highlight my inner corners and my brow bone, and then I did go back in with that Big Shot mascara to put some mascara on my lower lashes. Then for lips, I'm going in with this bhCosmetics waterproof lip liner in the shade Nude. It is absolutely stunning. I love it. It's gorgeous, it's affordable, and you need it in your life. And then for the actual lip color, I'm going in with the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade London. And then to set my face, I'm going in with the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. And that completes the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you recreate this look, make sure to tag me in my social medias. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!